My name is Lo-Fi No, and I'm here to bring you another video about one of the banners that has dropped. And I know I'm a little bit late, and I do believe that we only have 8 days left, but I still want to recommend or talk about Yoimiya for you guys and to give you guys my opinion on her and everything before this banner disappears, because some people might still be iffy about it and some people might have not or might have gotten Yoimiya already before I even made this video. But if you are the people who still haven't got it yet and on the fence of getting it, this is why I make the video. So let's get into it. I want to first talk about the controversy that a lot of people had going on with Yoimiya, with how she was not a strong DPS unit. Let's be real here, okay? You play Genshin because it's a video game, not something that you should take serious, and it's not something that you should take like it's the be all end all, okay? Every time a new character comes out, it doesn't have to be the most strongest or the best hitting character. So with that being said, Yoimiya is one of the best meta slash not character because she works really well with Overload. Surprisingly, Overload works really well with her, which is fantastic. I'm getting tired of always trying to see Vaporize or Melt. We get it that yes, they are the best and strongest element to mix together that hits hard. But let's be real, not everyone here is trying to be a meta person. Or some people just really want to play certain characters that are not the meta. And to add on to that, I believe MiHoYo was very smart with making Yoimiya because it gave Overload a chance to shine, to demonstrate the capabilities of what Overload can bring to the table. A lot of times when you're playing Genshin, and I do believe everyone knows this, a lot of people don't run Overload comp. They're like the people that's sitting in the back corner, you know, wondering like, hey, can I ever get a turn? Hey, can you give me some love? Can you give me some tension? And everyone is just looking at Overload like, who's this ugly piece of shit? What are you doing? You know? Like, and with Yoimiya, they got that attention. They got that. And it demonstrates so well how that works. And also too, her character plays with fireworks. And when you think about it, Overlord explodes. So it kind of works together when you think about it. So even corresponds with each other. So all I can say is I am very happy with the fact that Yoimiya works really well with Overload. Your boy hasn't got around to really play her like in the story, to really test her out with my own characters and everything, but just playing her in the trial, I can just see that she's not that strong to me actually. For some odd reason, I think she's really weak. The characters that are in the trial with her doesn't really demonstrate her capabilities that well in my eyes, and you can only really see it once you play her not in trial. Her downsides to me personally is her element skill. It's kind of like Hu Tao and Child. So once you activate it, you get your weapon or ability, or you get your effect applied to you, and you have a certain amount of time before it switches back to, I guess, normal white damage. And me personally, I don't want another character like that. But it also benefits because while it's on downtime, you can easily do your ult or maybe switch to one of your support and then recycle, and you can constantly keep the chain going. Now, what type of artifacts you should be running on Yoimiya? I think, in all honesty, you should run the 4-piece Crimson Witch set. I think that is the best bang for her buck. Or you can go 2-piece Crimson Witch with the 2-piece, I don't know how to say that new artifact, but I'm just going to say the Gladiator, so you know what I'm talking about. The other one, I don't want to butcher that word, and my brain cells will not be able to comprehend the word. But let's be real, if you're running the Gladiator or that word I can't say, what in the wrong with you? Now, Yoimiya weapon. It's a good thing that Yoimiya is a bow user because she has a lot of options for herself to choose from. And for me personally, I honestly don't know which one you should run. In my opinion, I think you should run, obviously, her 5-star. If you have Primal Gems to buy it, go ahead and try. Okay, if you get it, best in slot, no duh. The craftable weapon, that is really good. I would say the Skyward Heart, the Animus bow, the Battle Pass bow, and the Black Cliff is the only ones that I would recommend putting on Yoimiya, and that's really it. Now, let's talk about Sayu. I'm glad that we finally got a new 4-star to the table, and 2, I am very happy with the fact that it is voiced by a streamer, Lily Pichu, which is amazing. Good to see that more people in the gaming community is getting more attention and being more part of different industries or different gaming industries or whatever it is. So I'm very glad that a Twitch streamer got to voice act a game that I love to play a lot. With Sayu, she's fucking amazing. Okay, whenever I got on her, when I played her trials, I felt I was driving in a freaking car. I was playing Need for Speed, and that's all I thought about. Like, that was it. Like, just rolling around and not thinking about anything else. Freak trying to play with other characters, freak trying to use any other characters. I was a freaking car.
Man, I'm finna whip this hoe.
That ability right there is so different. It's so just interesting. It's so fun to just play on that. And I can't get over that. And even though I haven't pulled on this banner, still, like, I would have definitely just pulled on this banner just for Sayu. So then I can just drive around like I'm playing Need for Speed. That's it, really. I will only want to just play as her just to roll around in a ball. I just can't stress that enough. So with that being said, let's finally get into her abilities real quick. Sayu's element skill. She has two options. She can either press it or hold it. If she presses it, you don't really move that much and you do a little kick afterwards, applying animo damage to an enemy. And then if you hold it, you get to turn into a car, which I love the most. I don't care about the fact that once the longer you hold it, the longer the cooldown is. It's amazing. Okay, if you're gonna be on Sayu, at least drive around for a little bit before you get off her. Let's really be real. Finally, her like burst. All it is just you plop down this giant area, a field, and it has basically two options. If your character is over 70% of health and there's enemies, then guess what? The thing will do damage to enemies. And if there's no enemies in there and your character is still at 70 or more, it will continuously heal. And then if your health is lower than 70%, it will prioritize on healing. Her artifact choice is obviously the 4-piece Viridescent set, or the animal set if you want to call it that. And her second set that she could run is animal set with the beloved maiden set. Caring about healing, I will say that Sayu comes off as a really good character that is like a battery for other characters. Now, her weapon of choice that you should run on her, really deep down, run a weapon that is attack percent, substat, either element recharge on it, and that's really about it. One that comes to my mind is the new sword claymore we have that is buildable, and then the next choice is probably the Pheromonious claymore or the other one that lets redo your cooldown. That's really about it. What comes down to her weapon. Now on to Zinyan. Is a character that we can play and everything, but she's not shown almost anything other than that one event, if I remember correctly, and only a few characters know her out of the whole entire game. If you go into your characters, you go into like all the people that they talk to, only about 4 to 5 people, or I think 6, Zinyan is. And when you go to her, she actually knows a lot of the characters, and it's so weird because she's just not shown anywhere. Like, the only time I've ever remembered knowing who she was is when she was first introduced in the event, and that was it. And I'm just like, bro, did she fill off the map, or just like why she's not talked about? And me personally, I kind of like her, but also don't, because of like her constellation. Zinyan's constellations are like mandatory 100%. You have to have at least constellation 2 if you want to consider yourself a main DPS on her. Okay, really deep down, you really want constellation 4 really benefit like playing her as a truly main DPS. But even as support, she just doesn't perform that well in my eyes without constellations, which is just so weird. She has scaling with defense, which when you think about it, it's a good thing. That means you don't have to like waste your time with so many different types of artifacts, and all you really trying to do is just run Crimson Witch set on her, and that's really it. But like, even then, her character, how her playstyle is, it's just not that fun unless you have constellations on her. And I want to also say for her weapon or choices, now, being that Zinyan is a claymore user, that means that she has a lot of options when it comes down to weapons, which is a good thing. I would say that if you're trying to play her as a support character, then you probably want to play with the bell sword or the craftable one. And then finally, if you happen to have the Sky Blade 5-star, use that. Um, and the Battle Pass. Yeah, Battle Pass Claymore as well. Trying to make a main DPS, you run around the typical weapons that almost every DPS Claymore user uses. So like the prototype, the Wolf Gravestone, the you can get away with using the Black Cliff or the Battle Pass weapon again because they can be considered as main DPS weapons. Um, yeah, and that's really all my recommendations for Zinyan. I wish I had more to really talk about her, but I mean, she just doesn't bring a lot to the table in my eyes. So even though I like her, it's just, and she just doesn't do it for me. So I probably will not be building her anytime soon. And finally, to the last character,
Onwards. We have work to do.
Diona. For Diona a lot. And I believe 100% if you do not have a Zhongli, build her. Build your Diona, okay? Especially if you have like any constellations on her or if you have none. Just build your Diona because one, she does both roles, a healing character and a shielding character. And all you really want to do is just slap her with nothing but HP. Forget about trying to do damage. Forget about trying to make her like the strongest. Just slapping her with HP is like the best bang for your buck in any scenario when you're playing Diona because that's just how it scales. I will say that her artifacts of choice is actually a lot different because to Constellation 6, then her element map really comes into play. Right there, you want to advocate more for a Noblesse Oblige set, which I have seen a lot of people switched over after they finally got like their Constellation 6 on her. But if you don't have Constellation 6, you still can do the Noblesse Oblige. But overall, like, you really just want to stick to the, like, the Maiden Beloved set. Or the, you can even slap her with the Blizzard Strayer if you're trying to get more out of the 4-piece set from it. But typically, you want to just run, like, the main Blood set with probably the new, not the new artifact, but the one with the domain that you get Pale Flame from. I forgot what it's called, but I'm gonna have it up. Weapon of choice. You should run her with hands down the sacrificial bow is like one of her best in slot weapons. I don't really see any other bow working on her other than that bow. Obviously you can use other bows like the Felonious bow, but generally you want the sacrificial bow 100%. Now after saying all of this and explaining my opinion about this banner and everything, will I be summoning on this banner? No. I would summon for it just so I can get to you, but overall, I don't really see it all worth it since it's just a 4-star. I think everyone knows in the Genshin community that the banners can really cuck you more with trying to get a 4-star than a 5-star. So I'm not trying to test my luck here. And two, your boy's waiting for Ball and the rest of the banner that's coming out literally in a few days. But I still want to try to touch on this video and make this video on this banner before it runs out, because maybe people still sitting around waiting for whether or not they should get it. So other than that, I thank you guys for coming to listen all the way through to the video and listening to what I have to say. Hope you guys can like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Well, leave a comment in down below, maybe like your opinions about different characters or maybe about the next coming banner, who's it all gonna be with Ball. Hope you guys have a great day or night or whatever that you're watching, and peace out.